for a drip going, eh?
I guess so. I don't know. Actually, talking about that, yesterday was that Survivor Series, WWE Survivor Series 2020, whatever, and it was the farewell of Undertaker. The whole show was dedicated to him.
Congratulations, we just lost all of our fans. No one cares.
About the Undertaker?
So was he there? Did he even wrestle?
No, he just did. He said bye.
Yeah, no one cares. Okay, next. On to real things. Shit that's not scripted. Thank you.
I'm gonna tombstone you. All right, straighten that 69 tombstone. All right. So we had some boxing. No boxing this week. There was some boxing I turned on, but it was kind of garbage, so I turned it off. I didn't even know who was
Next.
fighting.
Hard next. Hard next.
Yeah. So we did get some UFC this weekend, which was a decent card.
Like, here's my thing with this card. It was deep, but there was no one that made me like, oh, I want to watch the pay-per-view for that. There was like, there was no Masvidal, there was no Connor, there was no Poirier, there was no Tony Ferguson. Just there was no star appeal, but it was a deep card of good fights.
Yeah, I mean Mike Perry might be the biggest name on the card besides Shogun.
Or the Bullet. The Bullet's got a bit of a name.
I don't know about that.
But I want to start off on the early prelims. Alan Jouban versus Jared Gooden. Jared Gooden was making his UFC debut. Alan Jouban was on a bit of a tough stretch, 2 or 3 losses in a row. Did you catch this fight?
It was a slugfest.
Dude, these guys were just trading bombs, man. I think Alan Jouban probably won every round, but they were very, very hardly fought rounds. Can they fight again? Like, can we just do that fight over and over again?
Yeah, I was actually really. I caught it at the second round. I'm like, what's going on? They were both busted up.
Oh, brutal, man. Jouban's face was smashed. He had cuts everywhere. Gooden's eyes were closing. Man, fight of the night for me. By far, fight of the night.
For sure, for sure.
Maybe we should try to get Alan Jouban on the show.
That'd be nice. Yeah, he's a cool guy.
All right.
I don't know what was. And then there was the prelims, which was. I made. I just want to shout out that I did beat you 0-4 this week. It was a clean sweep for Brady.
Okay. Let's be clear now. I took 3 underdog picks. I took Caldwell over McKee plus 300 underdog. I took Lipsky over Shevchenko, probably about a plus 300 underdog. And then I took Brandon Royval, who completely screwed me over because the dude went into the octagon with a shoulder dislocation. What are we doing?
Yeah, I think he dislocated it in the transition. I had him losing that fight anyway. Like he wasn't winning.
Losing the round, yes, we'll get to that. But the point is, yeah, his shoulder dislocated in the transition, but your shoulder doesn't dislocate from that little bit of a movement. He clearly has a legging injury. He needs to get surgically repaired. That's all I'm saying. And for his team to be like, yeah, man, it's not a big deal. Let's go into a fight where you're a flyweight and you guys are going to transition all over the place and not have that fixed.
Yeah.
Just it's irresponsible, and the man cost me money. So Brandon Royval, I got a beef with you now, bro. I got a beef with Royval.
But after the Jouban fight, what fight did you want to talk about?
Antonina Shevchenko versus Ariana Lipsky. We'll get into that one.
Yeah, Lipsky just didn't look good. I knew that Antonina was going to take her out in this fight.
Like, man, I gotta stop.
Sorry, she looked good, but she didn't fight good.
Yeah, I gotta stop betting with my eyeballs, thinking about these things because Ariana Lipsky is just, we all know, first team, all dime piece. And Shevchenko ain't bad herself, but I've been a Lipsky fan for a long time, well documented. What do they do with her now, man? She's like one of her last 4, maybe one of her last 3. I don't know what they do with her now.
Who, Lipsky or?
Lipsky, yeah. Shevchenko's lost a lot too, but they're to higher caliber fighter.
I don't know. Just give her another pie. Maybe, you know what? Maybe if the loser of the Gillian Robertson fight coming up.
Okay. What about the winner of the Ostovich fight this weekend?
That makes sense since they're both pies fighting.
I mean, Lipsky versus, if Ostovich loses, we'll get to that in a minute, but we'll come back to that. But hold that one in your head for me, guys. Hold that one there. Okay.
All right.
We're going to move on. We got Joaquin, the Showtime kick. I'm going to call that the new Showtime kick because that guy just took Anthony Pettis' kick and put it to shame, taking on Jordan Wright, who was undefeated. Also was a pretty good fight. What did you think about it?
I thought Wright was going to win, and he got knocked out. Like, I wasn't really impressed too much with, sorry, what's his first name again?
Joaquin.
I wasn't impressed because I feel like he was just trying to slug. Like, he was just throwing haymakers, and one of them ended up connecting.
I was very impressed. I mean, I had him losing the first round, but you could tell that his pressure was bothering Wright. He was losing the round, but he was fighting his fight. Wright looked uncomfortable. And once
throwing.
But once he landed, it was curtains. Like, this guy, he's got power in his hands. He's got power in his legs, clearly, knocking people out, putting them to sleep. I don't think his corner should have sent right back over the second round. He looked like it was done, man. I think they should have saved him.
Yeah, UFC needs to concentrate more on these guys' head damage, for sure.
We're going to end up with a lot more dudes like Shogun, who we're going to get to soon as well, because I got a lot to say about that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. But the main prelim fight was my man Brandon Moreno
taking on Brandon.
And we were just talking about this. Brandon Moreno is my favorite flyweight. He's fighting for the title now against Big. I'm happy. He should have been fighting this fight on this card, but I don't know. He looked good.
He did look good, but he wasn't really dominating. Royval was getting out grappled, but Royval was doing good damage from the bottom. Did you see Moreno's lips from those elbows he was landing?
Yeah. Yeah, so Moreno's a scrappy little fighter, though, so he could take shots, you know?
For sure. He's got that Mexican blood, man. These guys can take crazy shots. But that being said, I would have liked to see how that fight played out without this man's shoulder just falling out of his socket. Like, it looked like it was going to be a good fight.
Yeah, it would have been amazing if it would have kept going. Maybe in the future we'll get a rematch, though, right?
For sure. You and I both said this was the fight we were looking forward to the most on the card, so it's just a disappointment.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But to open up the main card, we had
55-year-old Shogun.
Yeah.
Taking on Paul Craig in the world's most exciting rematch of all time.
Yeah. Why is he still fighting?
Well, I mean, he'd only lost one fight since 2015, so it's kind of hard to tell the guy not to fight.
Did he not look like he aged since that fight, his last fight?
Yeah. If you compared that Shogun to the Shogun that just fought Paul Craig just over a year ago, two different guys. He was in bad shape for that fight, but I don't know how he's making 205 anymore because he's not he fought 205 in Pride and he was in shape. What is the 205 we're looking at now?
Yeah, he should be a heavyweight.
Dude, I don't know what's going on. The weight cut must be tough for him because he shouldn't be the same weight he was before with all the extra weight he's holding on to. I don't know. Sure. But what do we do with him now?
I give him one more fight, a winnable fight. I don't know. He looks like crap. No offense, but shit. I don't know. I'd like to see him retire. Honestly, after I don't know. Give him someone he could beat, I guess.
I was listening to Morning Combat. Shout out to Brian Campbell and Luke Thomas a couple of weeks ago, and Rashad Evans was thinking about coming back. I think that's a good fight.
That's a fight we've never seen before.
Yeah, I like that fight.
Make that happen. Rashad versus Shogun. Loser leaves town.
Because we got Shogun tapping the strikes, which, I mean, if you're tapping the strikes, you shouldn't be in the cage anymore. And a dude that's retired, so a loser leaves town match. Exactly what you just said.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. But then we had so after that we had I can't even remember the fights in a row.
Chukagian took on Calvillo. You didn't think Calvillo was going to make weight.
I was actually the happiest with this fight because I just want to see Calvillo lose, and Caitlin looked amazing. So
you give me your thoughts on this because you talked to Lauren Murphy before the fight. She's probably happy with it. What do you think about the fight?
They were going to give Calvillo a title shot, in my opinion, with a win. I think this puts Lauren Murphy up in the rankings. I think you're going to see her go to 3 on Tuesday. So, yeah.
I don't think Andrade should be number one. She's like, what is she, 1-3 in her last three fights, or I mean, 1-2 in her last three fights?
She's 1-3. Yeah, 1-2, 1-2.
And she beat Chukagian. Okay, Chukagian was the number one contender. I understand that, but I don't know.
Jump
The
that
thing is
much.
that they're all fighting. They're all beating each other. Chukagian's beating Murphy, but Murphy's beating everybody else. Calvillo's not in the mix anymore because she just lost. It's a weird division. I don't know where you go with this. I think Andrade versus Murphy makes sense for the next title shot.
Yeah, but I think Shevchenko said that she doesn't want to wait out though. Even though she'd like to see that happen, she doesn't want to wait because she took a year off, right?
Okay, so then let's say they give Andrade the shot. She jumps the line. Then we
What
have to
about
have
Laura Murphy versus Jennifer Maia? Andrade versus Shevchenko.
yeah, that makes sense. Or Murphy versus Chukagian rematch.
That makes sense too.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good fights in that. That division's not boring anymore.
No, it looks pretty decent actually.
Yeah.
Let's
Okay.
get
So
to the Mike Perry situation.
yeah, I mean, dude missed weight by 5.5 pounds. For that right there, like I didn't want to see him fight after that. I was just pissed off.
And Dana White would have been pissed off at any other fighter, but he wasn't even mad at all. He's like, it's Mike Perry. Mike Perry just brings eyes. Mike Perry, you know what I mean? He's not gonna have consequences and all this shit. The guy
Dude,
can just do whatever he wants.
he was lighting off tweets saying things like, "Oh, I know it's hard, blah blah. I don't think I'm gonna make the weight. Like, you guys don't understand, dude. I don't care. Shut your mouth and make the weight. This is what you signed up for. If not, go get
Yeah.
a 9 to 5. Go get your 9 to 5 and start flipping burgers. This is what you signed up for.
Or go to 185.
Or move up, exactly. Like John Anik said, if you miss weight, especially if you miss weight terribly like this by 5.5 pounds, you should have to be able to. You're fighting for no contest. I like what he said. What do you think about
Yeah, I'm back forth on it. I could see it being a good thing and a bad thing for sure.
So I like that. I like them. You force them up into a new weight class, and I think if they are going to return to the weight class, they have to do a practice weight cut to show the organization they can come back. Because if not, they're going to keep messing people's lives up like this.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
Okay, so but into the fight, man. Tim Means
Tim
looked
Means
great.
looked amazing. Yeah, he looked great. He looked sharp. His jab.
It was on point. I don't know if it's a case of Laturi Gonzalez training systems are just not cutting it for Mike Perry or it up at 36, but he looked the best I've ever seen.
Yeah, and he's won he's like 3 in his last 4 now. So maybe he'll
Yeah.
make the run.
His last loss was to Daniel Rodriguez, who actually fought in this card as well. But I believe that was his last loss. Correct me if I'm wrong. But anyways, I do what Tim Means now.
I think the winner he should fight the winner of Matt Brown, Carlos Condit.
Ooh. I like either winner or loser. I'd be good with that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think both Matt Brown and him would make a great fight. Carlos would be great for him.
Yeah. I think Mike Perry, we just got to see that Lawler fight. I think that's what we do next with Perry.
Perry's on a big skid actually. He's like 3 in his last, like it's pretty bad.
Well, he beat Gall.
Yeah, but look how many losses he's had he's had like 7 losses in his last 10.
Yeah, he's not doing well. I don't think he's ever going to be world class. He's never going to be a title challenger, but they're going to keep him around because he's a name and he's fun to watch.
For sure, he's entertaining. So,
but if he goes over to Bellator right now, I mean, he might be in the mix with the MVPs and guys like that.
well, that's for sure. For sure, I can see that.
Okay.
But in the main event,
co-main
should have been the main.
Bullet taking on Maya. What'd you think?
Man, the second round it kind of made me a little shocked. I was like, what is happening right now? I knew if the round ended, which it was going to, that she was just going to get dominated, but it was nice to see Shevchenko look kind of human for a bit.
For sure. But let's be real now. We're getting excited about a clear 49-46 across all 3 cards. That's what we're getting excited about. It was still a dominant performance.
See, I don't think it was that great of a performance by her.
No. I'm not saying it was a good performance, but if you win 4 rounds, pretty dominant.
Yeah. I think she looked really sloppy actually for once.
She's in that that John Jones stage now, almost, where it's like she's destroying these people so bad that if she doesn't violently knock somebody out, it's a letdown. And if she loses a round, it's like the end of the world. What do you think?
Yeah, I think someone's gonna come up and surprise her soon, though. Soon.
I don't see that. I don't see that at all. I just think that you can see how she got out of at the beginning of the fight. Her risk management was very calculated. She just wanted to take it to the ground, which is very uncharacteristic of her, and just control and just win the rounds based on control, which understandable. She's off for a year. So much to lose. She's a plus 2,000 favorite. If you lose, it's like, oh, this is some Buster Douglas stuff going on. Then as the fight, she starts getting into the fight. The fifth round, she was piecing her up pretty good.
Oh, and she was whipping her to the ground too. So some of those throws were intense.
Yes, yes. I still think she's levels above everybody. If we're getting to the point where she's winning 4 to 5 rounds, and people are saying that that's her slipping, I think we just need to just give her a break. She's in that John Jones stage of her career. She's here. Everybody else is here. She could get worse, and they still got to make ground to make up.
Oh, for sure, for sure. I agree. But what about that main event?
I mean, Davison, he looked human at the beginning of that round. I was impressed by Alex Perez for the first minute of the fight, and then it was over.
Yeah. And then you're like, what's happening? The balance of his balance is crazy. And yes, I want to show it to people. I am in my kids' room hiding from them from downstairs, so that's why I'm in there.
But,
they're noisy little bastards.
But I mean, Alex Perez, he almost got out of the guillotine. But how tight did this guy have it that he squeezed the top of his head, and that's how he tapped him out?
Yeah, I think he just got panicked. He panicked more than it hurt. I think he should have. I don't know. I being in that situation, but I don't think he would have been choked out. Like he would have just maybe crushed his head and went like into a horror movie. But like he wouldn't have been put out like that way.
He had 4 minutes to hold on. It would have been tough. It would have been really painful. And I don't know. I don't blame him. Like if you've been in a guillotine, it sucks.
Yeah, absolutely. People don't know what it's like. I don't know. There's not much to say. The flyweight division's a little bit interesting. Whatever.
Okay, so that brings us to Davison Figueiredo taking on Brandon Moreno, as mentioned. I don't think Davison's gonna make weight for his next fight, man. It's less than a month away.
I was just about to say he's not gonna make weight.
No way. There's absolutely no way. He gained like 25 pounds, I'm hearing, after that fight.
Yeah, he's not making weight again. It's impossible.
I don't know why they did this to him. Like, I mean, he's obviously going to take the fight. He's a warrior. He's trying to be fighter of the year. If he wins this fight, he might be fighter of the year. He's in the conversation. Mm-hmm. But point is, dude, why are we doing this fast turnaround? I don't think fast turnarounds are in your wheelhouse. When you're way too big for the division, you shouldn't even be fighting at that weight class.
That's another thing. He's kind of a weight bully. I don't see him losing weight or making the weight, and this is going to be another title shot. Will he be forced to vacate it?
No, he won't be forced to vacate because it's a quick turnaround. But if he loses, they're going to Marino. If he loses to Marino, they're going to force Davison up. They're not going to run it back.
Yeah, for sure. Do you think if Marino wins, he'll be for the belt, right?
Oh yeah, for sure, no doubt. As long as he makes weight.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think you're going to see Marino for the belt only.
I agree. I think we're on the same page. I'm surprised we're on the same page for that. We're on the same page for that.
For once.
Okay. Let's move on to this week's UFC card. Not much to talk about. I think we're going to talk about 3 fights real quick. Anthony Smith is somehow sneaking his name onto this card. I didn't even know until just now pulling it up. Fighting Devin Clark. I'm not familiar with that.
He should get a win by submission. I'd say second, third round for Anthony Smith. He's going to grind him into a submission.
I hope so, man. I like Lionheart. If he loses this one, it's you're going to see him at the announce desk a lot more.
Oh, for sure. I think he's at the end of his career now.
At 33, you think he's at the end of his career?
He's had 45 fights. It's different, man.
That's fair.
Jose Aldo's at the end of his career, and he's younger.
Yeah, okay. Good point. Okay, let's move on to my main event of the evening. We have Gina Mazzani taking on Rachel Ostovich. What are we doing, Brady? What are we doing?
I was tooting. Didn't want to toot on camera.
Okay, so Gina Mazzani's coming down from 135. This is that flyweight. She's 6-4. Rachel's 4. I don't know, man. I don't know.
I think Rachel gets submitted by second round.
See, that's the thing though. Regina, she's pretty well rounded. She's got 2 decision wins, 2 TKO KO victories, 2 sub wins. Rachel Ostovich has got 2 decisions and 2 subs. So like the strong part of her game is the grappling. That being said, she got tapped out in her last game by armbar to Paige Van Zandt. That's not saying very much. I don't know, man. I mean, I can't pick against Rachel, bro. But if she loses, if
She's
Rachel
your girlfriend, but
what do we
might,
do? What am I going to do? 4-6? I can't defend it at 4-6.
I know. What do you do at that? I don't know. And you know what's funny? She'll be 4-7, and they'll still keep her around.
It's ridiculous. Hopefully she comes out in her Wonder Woman stuff. I'm good with that any day of the week.
Absolutely.
Okay. So Rachel Austin.
That should be the headliner for this weekend.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Curtis Blades is taking on Derek Lewis in a number 1 contenders match.
Is it a number 1 contender match?
I mean, it might not be being called that, but the winner of this is going to be ranked number 1, right behind Francis.
Right behind Francis. And we're going to get Stipe and him in March, probably. I think he gets mauled. Lewis gets tapped out in the 3rd round.
Man, I have a hard time picking against my boy Derek Lewis, man. I don't know.
I love him.
I mean, Curtis Blades has shown that he's willing to stand up more and more lately. He stood up with who's the last guy? Who's the last guy he fought?
Volkov.
Yeah, he stood up a bit with Volkov. Then he was mixing the takedown. You know what? I'm gonna take Derek Lewis. I think he pulls off some Hail Mary knockout.
I hope so. I hate Blades, man.
Man, he's been squeaking out victories like Alir Latifi. He edged that one out. Blagnow, he edged that one out. He's finding ways to win. Volkov, he edged that one out literally to the last second.
Yeah, I don't know. I hope Lewis can keep it standing, but his takedown defense is crap.
It is, but Blades' chin is very suspect.
He has a horrible chin for sure.
So it's if he touches him, it could be over. If Blades gets on top of him, Lewis will gas out on the ground. So there's definitely 2 clear paths to victory. I'm taking Derek Lewis knockout.
I got 3rd round submission. Curtis Blades.
Okay. So we're gonna transition over to boxing now. We got Daniel Dubois taking on Joe Joyce in an all British showdown. Or what'll be like the next big guy coming out of Britain will be the winner of this fight. What do you think?
Britain needs some people right now. It's kind of hurting.
Really? They got Fury and Joshua, man.
I guess. But I mean, like, besides them, they got, even in all combat sports, they have, like, Darren Till and MMA. That's it.
That's true. Bisbing's going and whatnot. But anyways, what do you think about the fight?
Honestly, I think Joe Joyce should decision.
So I was looking at some stats, and I was watching some highlights quickly just to get an idea of how it's going to go. Joe Joyce's average fight time is 3.9 rounds.
Okay.
Daniel Dubois average fight time 2.9 rounds.
So someone's getting knocked out.
This isn't going past the 4th round. This is going to be violent. The thing about you got Joe Joyce's volume, and he hits pretty hard. He does hit hard, but tons of volume. And Dubois just every single shot, uppercuts, hooks, jabs. He's knocked the guy down with the jab. Everything he throws is hard. So this is a tough fight.
I'm going to be one of those ones on paper, that are supposed to be great and a great knockout, and it's going to go to decision. That's my prediction.
Oh man, don't give me Francis Ngannou versus Derek Lewis. I don't want that.
You watch, it'll happen.
Okay, I'm going to go on a limb here. Joe Joyce is the underdog, but he's fought better competition. I think as long as he gets out of that 1st round, Dubois is going to be tough on the 1st round. He's going to survive, and his volume is going to win the day for him. He's going to win him with his jab.
For sure. I got a boring fight, Joe Joyce decision.
I'm going to say late stoppage. I know I said it's not going to go to 4 rounds. It shouldn't get out of the 4th round, but I'm changing my pick.
They're just both going to be hesitant.
Yeah, I'm going to say 8th round TKO, Joe Joyce.
All right. At least we agree on the winner.
Okay. Rolling on to the biggest fight card of the weekend. Let's not talk about the main event yet. Let's talk about what we got going on before. Are you excited to see the YouTube boxing at all this weekend? We got Nate
Not
Robinson
at all.
taking on Logan Paul, Jake Paul.
Jake Paul. Not at all. Hard next.
Are you going to skip past that? Are you going to watch it? Where's your head at?
I'll probably just skip it.
Who are you picking? I want to know your pick on that real quick.
I'll probably give Jake Paul though.
Really? Even though Nate Robinson's one of the way better athletes.
Yeah, for sure. He has experience.
He does. Okay, but he's beating YouTubers. I don't know, man. This is a hard one because one guy's been training boxing for a few years, but one guy's a superior athlete. I'm gonna take Nate Robinson. I want for a couple of reasons. I think he's the better athlete, and I want him to kill YouTube boxing. Hopefully, he destroys Jake Paul. We don't have to see these guys ever again.
YouTube boxing. I like how you call it that.
It's not real boxing. You got to separate it.
For sure.
Okay, then we move on to the biggest fight of the weekend. Bro, I can't believe it's 2020, almost 2021, and we're breaking down a Mike Tyson, Roy Jones fight.
What about Bojo?
Huh?
What about Bojo Jack?
Well, yeah, Badu. Yeah, but I forgot Badu Jack is fighting. It's always good to see Badu back. Hopefully he gets a big win.
Yeah, I just wanted to give that a shout out. I think he should win that fight.
I agree.
Yeah, but we do have a huge fight. You're right. You could give it the introduction. It's 2021. There's two people in their prime finally fighting for the first time. We've been waiting for this. It's the Manny Pacquiao versus the Floyd Mayweather happening now. We contracts aligned. We get the fight. The heavyweight champion versus a heavyweight champion. Mike Tyson versus Roy Jones Jr. What do you think?
I mean, man, I've been waiting for this fight since 2004 when
you better cut that entrance into an Instagram.
Yeah, I'm gonna post it. That's hilarious. But man, since 2000, when John Ruiz lost his title to Roy Jones, Roy Jones wanted the Tyson fight. Tyson didn't want the fight. Apparently, I don't know what happened. It didn't happen. We're now sitting at almost 2021, and this fight is finally gonna happen. I don't know why I'm excited for this. Two dudes in their 50s that are gonna have nipples down to their fucking stomach. I don't know, but I'm about it. I can't wait.
And see, I think everyone's like on the Mike Tyson wagon, and like Roy Jones is my favorite boxer of all time, the best of all time in my opinion. And people forget that Roy Jones has been active.
Yep. Just retired a year and a half ago, 2 years ago.
And he was winning fights.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He just retired like a year and a half, 2 years. He was fighting hands, but he's fighting.
Well, people actually think that he hasn't been in there. Like, oh, Roy Jones has been out for 10 years. Like, yeah, no. Mike Tyson is going to get slumped.
So the thing is, they're doing Roy dirty. They're trying to do the job on him, man. First of all, it's 8 rounds. It should be 12 rounds. So those 8 rounds, it's going to favor Tyson, shorter fight. Okay. Then it was supposed to be 3-minute rounds. They cut it to 2-minute rounds because of Chavez Sr. just had an exhibition about a month ago, and they had like heart complications or something after that, where they weren't. I don't know, something happened where they were not the ambulances or somebody had to check them out, and they were kind of concerned. So they said for the Tyson exhibition, they want to cut down the round time. Now that's BS. They're doing the job on Jones because he's the B side in this, and they're making it way more advantageous for Tyson. But I'm going to take the fresher, younger, more active guy. Like we said, Roy's just retired. He's been fighting. He's been training fighters. Tyson has been smoking weed and doing nothing for 15 years.
Yeah, he just got back in shape, and he's on all the Picos.
Yeah, they're apparently doing VADA testing, but what are we? This guy's piss has got to be like highlighter green. How is he passing tests?
Something's rigged in this whole fight.
I just don't want to see him get knocked out, but I really, really don't want to see Roy Jones get knocked out, man.
Yeah, I don't want to see either of them get knocked out. I'm more used to seeing Roy Jones get knocked out, but, it is what it is.
It is what it is. I'm going to say Jones by decision.
I got Jones by decision. Is there even a clear winner? No one wins if it goes to decision, right?
I don't know. That's a good point. I'm not sure. I think they're scoring the card. I think they're scoring rounds, but it doesn't count towards the record.
I just read that someone said that they're not scoring rounds at all.
Well, I hope that's not the case.
Because that'd be horrible. Could you imagine this? I don't even think this should be a pay-per-view.
No, it's on some Triller app. I don't know how anyone's gonna watch it.
Is it?
Yeah, it's on some app. I don't know.
Huh. We'll be watching on First Row Sports. Um, um, but yeah, I know I'm gonna go on this trailer app and buy it and support these guys.
Yeah, man, you gotta support them when their nipples are hanging down, man. You gotta support them.
Yeah, absolutely. But is that it for this weekend?
That's it, man. Nothing else I want to say.
All right. Well, enjoy your night and yeah, click those ads.
We're out.